I was just trying to give you Friday's live trading, hopefully, and so just having a look at the markets here. It is 7:43 a.m. UK time. Just having a look across the markets. There's potential for a little trade here on the dollar CAD, and believe it or not, it would actually be a short trade for a potential run down here, down to sort of these lows as we would go through the morning. We've got a bit of a divergence here on the 5-minute chart, which you can't see, but we've got a divergence here from these two tops, and we have a little bit of negative momentum in the background on the hourly charts. Not too much, but for me to try a trade here, the risk will be absolutely minimal because it will be literally about a 3-pip stop, something like that by the time I take a trade. So I'm going to bring a deal ticket over, and we'll see if this. What I'm basically waiting for is just waiting for the close, because what I don't want to do is see it close, and break out, so to speak. So I wanted to see it close back here. So we have got just over a minute to go, so I'll press pause. Okay, so I'll give it a go. Let's see if we can get a little blip up. It's closed back inside these bands, so that's what I was waiting for. So we'll see if we get a tiny little blip here, and this could be over very, very quickly. A trade like this with such a tight stop. But we'll see if I can get it. So there we go. 1. So I want to get 5 units in. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. I'm going to quickly get my stops in place. So I'll just press pause while I'm doing that. Right, okay, that's all those in. I actually had a question last week, is how come I take my trades and then put my stops in? It's just purely because of my broker. If my broker allowed me to put my stops in at outset as I take my trades, then I would do that. But I can't. So anyway, because the broker doesn't have that facility. So anyway, here's the orders. Obviously there's 5 of them, but I can't get 5 across here. It's going to take up the whole page. But at least I can show you a few of them. So there we go. I'll probably show 1 or 2, can't I? There we go. I can get 4 in. There we go. There's not enough space to put the 5 in. But yeah. So what I'm looking for is I don't suppose if it is going to go down. I'll just click back onto the chart. I don't suppose it's going to happen quickly, because what I'm looking for is a move down, and the reason I know it's not going to happen quickly is because it's got lots of support below it at the moment to try and break down through. So 5-minute 21 here, 5-minute 50 down here. So it could take a while. That's if it's going to work out. I think it's probably a slightly lower probability trade than some. Because of the nature of where it is, but we'll see. Like I said, it's got a little bit of negative momentum. It's got a daily pivot right down just below these lows, actually, to try and run to. So, but I would be looking to, once it came, if it does come down, I would start offloading as we were starting to come down anyway, and then have a final target down there. But other than that, that's it for now. So I'll press pause. But it could be that this one amounts to nothing, and then I'm waiting. It is non-farm payroll day, so it could be that we end up waiting for a second trade until this afternoon. We'll see. I've been watching, obviously, having a quick look at the likes of the pound and the euro, but there's nothing clear there at this time this morning, at least anyway. So it could well be that we end up pressing pause and waiting for this afternoon. So anyway, I'll stop talking for a minute and we'll come back to this. Oh no, this is interesting. I've just walked back in, and as you can see, one of the positions has just been closed on this spike out. So actually, no, 2 of the positions have just been closed on that spike, but 3 of them are still in. So it's obviously just filled a couple of orders. Let's have a look here. So it's gone up. My stop was at 96, and probably on the spread it's just nicked me out there. But and then it's come back down. So 2 of them have been stopped out, and I'm just making my omelette here. So nothing I can do about that. They were stopped out for minus £16 each. I can't show you. Can I show you the account? I can't show you the account this one. I'm in a swing trade, so elsewhere. So Yeah, so I can't show you the account itself, but I can show you. I'll show you the. I'll do a screen grab. Let's actually do a screenshot of it while I'm sat here, so you can actually see the what's going on with the dollar CAD itself. There we go. So these are the positions, and as you can see, two of them have just got stopped out at 96.3. There you go. Anyway, so we've got nabbed on probably light volume, I guess. Anyway, so a couple of them have been nabbed. Right, let's get rid of that. No, we don't need to save it. And we'll see what happens here. We're still. Now it's 8 a.m. We've got an 8 a.m. pivot coming in at 85. So we come down to 85. I'll take something off. I'll take one of these units off. That's a shame having those two taken out, because I could have used one of those to take something off. 85 is not exactly a lot, is it? It's 8 pips. Well, maybe I won't. It's just all so small. I don't think I'll bother. I'll just see, and maybe when it comes down to there, maybe I'll trail my stop a little bit by a pip or so. We'll do it that way. Yeah. I just don't think it's worth for the sake of 8 pips. I might as well try and hold on to this and see if we can get that bigger move come in, which may take a bit longer. And so we'll do it that way. Right, I'll press pause for now. Right, just whilst we're doing this, I think there might be a setup elsewhere. So I'm just going to delete these for a minute to get rid of those. The pound might be having a reversal setup. Let's go and have a quick look. I'm trying to eat my omelette here. So the pound may actually set up for a reversal. So I'm going to be watching this one. It's set up at the moment. It's got a nice divergence between this low here and this low here. And it's got a pivot up above 38. So that is potentially setting up for a reversal. So I'm going to bring a deal ticket up for that one. Pound. So I've just got to wait and watch this price action for a little bit, but I'll be watching this, and if it sets up, then we'll be taking a trade on this one. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, so this dollar CAD is coming down. It's come down to that pivot, I think. Like I said, it was going to be about 85. Let's have a quick look. I'm looking off screen. Has it hit? Yeah, it has. So I'm still waiting on this pound dollar, so it has come down to that pivot. I could possibly move my stop down a pip and just to for the sake of a pip, move it down to like 95, because it shouldn't want to come all the way back up there again if this thing is going to hold and carry on rolling down. So it has hit some support, but I'm just leaving it, because if I'm going to try to run it to a larger level, I might as well stick with that plan and run it to that larger level, especially as it stopped me out of 2 tickets. It won't be enough. So we've got these larger targets down here anyway, so we'll just see. It's probably going to take hours, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right, let's go back and have a look at the pound again. Now, the longer this pound takes, then the more momentum is going to come into the downside, which will then mean that I can't take it. So we're sort of running out of time on the pound if it can't sort itself out, basically. So I'll carry on watching it for now, but it's running out of time a little bit, and may have to ignore it. But because its momentum is starting to wane, I must admit, even on the hourly chart. It's starting to diminish, and so therefore what it could be wanting to do is run down to yesterday's lows, you see. So if it can't hold, so we'll see. I'll keep watching it for a few minutes. Just back, so this dollar CAD, obviously it's come down to that 5-minute 50 now, so it's just like I said earlier on, it's just going to hit layer after layer of support, so it could take quite a long time. We could then get a decent bounce all the way back up again, even if it is ultimately going to roll. So I'm not having great expectations of this coming straight down, as nice as it would be if it did, but I'm mentally, and I think as a trader you have to be mentally prepared for the ebb and flow of the market. I think a lot of traders, especially newer traders, they get into a trade and they just want a position to just immediately go in their favor and then just go straight to target. And it's nice when those trades come along, but it's less. It happens less often, obviously, that a market just goes straight to your target. Usually it hangs around, may pull back or whatever, even if it is going to go to your target. So you have to just be prepared mentally for those sort of moves. Now what I do need to do here at the moment is obviously is adjust these positions. So let's now the pound, I'll have to come back to that in a minute, but for the for this dollar CAD, what I need to do is okay, let's move these stops down to 95 now. There we go, move it to 95, and the target area, like I said before, is just above that daily pivot, so it's 124.70 is the actual pivot, and so I'll put it in at 124.73. okay, so 73 is just about these lows anyway, just the break of those lows. So what I need to do is do this with all the other deal tickets as well. So move that one up, move that down to 95, 124.73, and then we'll do the final one as well. Just to stop, and then I'm just doing it off screen because it makes it quicker. 24.73. Okay, so as it currently stands, I'm sitting in a whopping profit of £153 or $292 on this trade. It is a shame that obviously that I got nicked out on those two up there. That's a real shame because it's obviously had a good run. Just a bit of unfortunate on the spread. That happens, doesn't it? C'est la vie, it's trading. Right, let's. So there's nothing more for me to do with that. The orders are in. So let's go and have a look at this pound dollar then. I need to make up my mind as to whether to take a trade on that one. Let's have a quick look here. It's come into the bands. It's got a divergence in play. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll trade it, but I'll trade it with just two lots. So I'm just going to wait for a close inside these bands first of all. So we are at 8:32 AM, so we've got 3 minutes to go. So I'll wait for a close, and then wherever we close, I'll look for a dip back to the lower part of the band, pop a stop below the low. So I need to make sure we close inside first, because I could just buy it here, and all of a sudden it closes down here, and you're thinking, oops, I didn't even wait for a close inside the bands. We've got a divergence, like I said, in the background. Momentum has certainly waned on the hourly chart, hence why I'm only going to take this with a two-lot position. So I'll press pause for now, and we'll come back to this. Okay, so we are coming to the end of this 5-minute period. There we go. Look for the dip, and then I'll be putting my stop below here. So that's around about 152.20, I believe. So I'll look at that in a second. So first of all, we're looking for this dip. So I'll press pause while I'm waiting. Okay, so we're getting close. So again, it's going to be a very tight stop again. So we'll just see if I can get in as it comes down. Keeping it tight because of the obviously the risks to this. And now I've pressed record. It's just waiting here. So the time that we're running at the moment, with 13 minutes into this recording, it doesn't look like I'll be holding on for the non-farm payroll. So whatever happens this morning, if these trades end up amounting to nothing, even though the dollar CAD is down at 80 at the moment off screen, and if it comes all the way up and stops me out, and this one stops me out, I'll be out of time. I won't be able to hold and carry on recording all through non-farm payrolls, because otherwise this video will be about 40 minutes long. So this is our chance here this morning. Right, I'll just press pause, I guess, while we're waiting. Okay, so it's getting closer. Always want to try and get that the best price I can get, because so often it does set up. So why bother? There we go. 1, 2. So just put 2 units in on that one with a very tight stop. So I'm going to quickly get those stops sorted out off screen, and I'll press pause while I'm doing. Okay, so the stops are in down at 21, just below these lows. So it's about a 4 pip stop on this one, and we're just going to see what happens now. So let's just move this deal ticket off. I don't need that anymore. So have a quick look at the dollar CAD whilst we're waiting on the pound. That is coming lower. It's at 77 now, and so what I will do is I'll move my stops to break even. Why don't I do that on this one? I think cable's coming down, so at the moment cable's approaching my stop, but we'll keep an eye on that. Right, so what we'll do is we'll move the stops on this one. I think we can afford to move them to break even. So what was my entry? 93.2. So I'll put it in at 93. I need to put it in at 92 in order to be properly at break even, because it will stop me out at about 93 that way. And I'll do the same off screen with the others. I can do it quicker without dragging it all across. And so I've now got my stops at 93, and I think the pound I'm just about to get stopped out on, so let's go and have a look. Very close. It's right on my stop. It's not stopped me just yet. I'm sitting right on top of it. So there it goes. It must be. Yeah, it's going to stop me. There it goes. Yeah, minus £60 on the pound. I'll quickly do a screenshot. So that one didn't work out. So we're relying on the CAD now. There's the pound trade. Hopefully you can see all of that. Yeah, yes, you can. So there's the 2 units in 25 and 24, and total loss of 60. So let's get rid of that. So that one's not worked out. It is diverging, and I've given it a go for the that 8 AM pivot. It might come up again later, but as far as I'm concerned, well, I've given it a go. I'm not going to bother carrying on with it. So here's the potential. Potential is if this dollar CAD decides to come all the way back up to my break-even point, then I'll be at break-even on on those units. Obviously, I took 2 lots of £16 loss on being nicked out there, and I've just taken a £60 loss on the pound. So it's possible that I have a total loss of around about what's that? 76, 86, £92 this morning. If this CAD doesn't play itself out. So oh well. If it does play itself out though, then I don't know what the totals will be. We're up about £150 as it currently is on the dollar CAD. By the time it gets down to there, if it gets down to there, it'll be about £250, less than £60 off of that. It's all going to be small stuff, unfortunately, this morning. So because of that, not losing out on those 2 units really. But we'll see. This one, like I said, could take a while. So I shall press pause. I'm going to go get myself sorted out, ready for the gym, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, I'm just back here because obviously this dollar CAD is getting really approaching that level. Remember, we've got those targets down at 73. But what I've done is I was looking at the hourly charts, and I'll bring those up. I've decided to adjust one of the targets lower. Just in case we go and get a big roll runner today. It doesn't have to. It may stop here at the pivot. It's not quite at the pivot yet, but so what I've done is I've got the 2 targets in at 73. If we can get down to that pivot, I should move my stop down maybe another smidgen, I guess. But anyway, and I'm going to leave one open right way down to around about 124.40 or so. So let's just have a look at the hourly chart, because we've got these prior highs down here. So I'm adjusting. Well, I've put it in at 40, but actually that's a little bit low. So I'm going to put it in at this high. I'll check that level, and just see if I get a runner on that final one. Because if I get a runner, then that really adds the cream, doesn't it? So so let's just see. So I'm going to just adjust the target on that. So let's just bring that one up. So look, I put it in at 41, but I think it needs to be a bit higher than that. So let's put it in at about 47. I'll double check the levels off in a minute. Hold on. Right, that high is actually 49. So I need to, let's just take that back to a 5-minute chart, and let's just adjust that level again. So if it's actually 49, I'll put it in at 51. Okay. So if we get a run there, then it makes quite a bit of a difference, really. So in the meantime, is there anything I can do with my stops? They're at break even. I could probably move them by a pip. I'll move them to 92. I think one of them was at 92. I'm going to just moving the other 2 to 92 while I'm sat here. We're really, I mean, the thing is with this now is it has come into this congestion zone, and I'm looking for a level which is just below that, but that's just the way it is today. That's where the pivot is. So it could mean that we're due for that bounce as we come down into these prior lows here. Let's zoom out a little bit for you. So it could well be that we're at any point here could just get to 74 even and then bounce without poking through to that pivot level. So, but anyway, just stick to the plan. We'll see how we go. So at the moment, it is sitting up £232 currently. That's including those two losses. So, but it's we've just got to see if we can get down there, and if we can get down to there, great, and we hit that level, and then if it does have a bigger push, then it would add another couple hundred pounds. Yeah, about another couple £100 on top of whatever we make. So it could end up being about 400 odd pounds day if I just on this from this trade, and including the loss on the pound, it could well do if it was to get that run. So whatever happens at the moment, stops at 92 now. So I obviously can't lose on this remainder, and we'll just see what happens. So it's either going to be a minus £60 if it comes all the way up and stops me out, I lose minus £60. If it comes all the way in my favour, then I'll be making about £400. So we shall see, and that's that minus 60, including that little cable trade I tried. Let's actually go back to cable just quickly and see what happens. Yeah, it's just carried on going lower, as you can see. So nothing to really do with the pound there. It's doing its own thing there. So anyway, it had a divergence, but I suspect that's gone now, and its momentum starting to build. So no interest in the pound right now. Even though it's going lower, it's just into yesterday's lows right now as we're looking at this. So I have no interest. Right, we'll put this back to the dollar CAD, and we'll see what happens. I better get myself. Okay, just back, and as we can see, it's been rallying up, and it's come all the way back down. And so what I've done is I've moved my stop to, what have I moved it to? Yeah, I've moved it to 89, so I've moved it to just above these highs now. As we've put in like a pivot over here now, so I've moved the stop to there. So it's all a little bit volatile this morning. We've seen that. I've actually have a look at some of the other markets. The euro dollar's had a decent move down. And so it's a shame we missed that one. I didn't have any fresh setups on it earlier on when it was over here, so there was nothing fresh on it, and then it's all of a sudden just sort of gone sideways and then just collapsed and fallen off a cliff. So you can't always catch them all if you haven't got everything lined up. So and the pound I think is still down as well. Yeah. So these are the ones which actually have had in the end had more points, but they didn't have, when I was looking at them earlier, they didn't have anything fresh overly setting up. So like I said, and I tried that little divergence trade wherever it was over here, but like I said, it was only what, 4 pips, something like that. So I don't mind taking a trade like that if it's only got a very, very small risk. But anyway, for now, those markets are really struggling. But there's not really much I can do with them. So we'll just carry on seeing what's going to happen with this dollar CAD. It's sort of holding at the moment. When you look at it, it's done what? 5, 10, 15, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 minutes of effectively holding in a holding pattern. So we're going to have to see. But like I said, if it does break down, then we've got some half decent targets down there, which would make it not too bad a trade. So we'll see. I'm going to be heading out to the gym shortly, so if it doesn't break down before I go, then we'll see what happens by the time I get back. Okay, so just back, and as we can see, it has come down. It's hit my level. So my levels were at 73, if you remember from. Let's have a look here. Yep, just below those lows. And as we can see, it's bounced straight back up off of that pivot. So, but needless to say, obviously it's hit 2 of those targets. Still got the stop at what's it at there? 89 on the remainder. So we're just going to carry on and see what happens. Let's go back out to that hourly chart. It's come down and hit the main daily pivot, so that could be it. I've taken the option to see if this can gradually roll over without coming up and stopping me out. And if it does, then I might get a bit of a better roll on it. But certainly looks like I've missed out on the likes of cable this morning. It's had a good old run down, and I think the euro has as well. But anyway, we'll see. So see what happens here. So I'm off to the gym now. So we'll just see what happens a bit later. This one could take hours. Now it's hit the daily pivot. We'll have to see. It could still stop out yet, but I mean that'll still be a small, 4 pips or whatever gain on the final bit as well. Currently up $471 on this trade at the moment. £244 currently. But if it runs all the way down to that target, it will be about 400 quid on the trade, about $600-700. Anyway, we'll see. I'll press pause. Catch you later. Okay, just back. It's just after 11 o'clock, and we can see this dollar CAD has sort of meandered its way just a little marginally lower, and But what I've just spotted is I was looking at the 4-hourly charts, and there is some. There's a 4-hour band actually. Let's have a look, see what Telecharts is showing. Telecharts may not be showing it. Yeah, there it is. Just below where we currently are, and so's the hourly 50, just a little bit lower. So although I had that target down at 50, I think if we get down, just push down to that hourly 50, which is around about 62, well, it's currently at 68. I think I'll just close the rest of this position out as we get down to support there. At least it means I can go into non-farm payrolls being flat. So if we can get there, so it's just a little bit further to go. So I'll just press pause and we'll see. But one thing I think that's worthwhile mentioning, I've mentioned this before, and that's that when you're trading, or when I'm trading, my goal is to find deals. That's all that trading is. You're just trying to find a good deal. If you can find good risk reward deals, then it doesn't matter if you have losing trades. So because you know it's a good deal. It's a bit like Dragon's Den. When those dragons are sitting there, they know that if they, for every 10 people that they invest into, that 10 businesses that they invest into, that a number of them will not succeed. So that's why they're always looking for that good deal and getting a good percentage return on their investment, because they know that that percentage return has got to pay for some of those deals that just don't come off or fail. And it's exactly the same with trading. So what you're always looking to do is, before you go into a trade, is say, is this a good deal? Not, oh, here's a setup, I'm just going to buy this setup and then worry about the actual return afterwards. If you're constantly looking for trades that you've got good risk to reward, then you know you'll be okay. So that's my piece of advice for this week. Look for good deals. Too many traders take trades because they see setups and then worry about the profits afterwards. That's too late, because once you're into a trade, it's all over. You start getting emotional about it and you can't think with the same clarity. You must already have had a good idea of where you're looking to run this trade, or whatever trade it is, to. Anyway, so we're coming down a little bit here. Hopefully I'm not going to be wrong here and it does completely roll over, but as it's come down into that 4-hour lower band, it's just hitting it right now actually, then I'm just looking for that extra pip or so, and then I'll close this final section out, and then we can get this video update, make it a wrap, as it's 27 minutes in. Do you know what? For the sake of another pip or two, I think I'll just close it out. It's been a good deal. I risked 3 pips. Was it 3 pips? Okay, let's close out. Right. We got in at 93 originally and had a stop at 96, remember. So I risked 3 pips to make on this final portion. What did I just come out? 65, and we was in at 93. So 28 pips. See what I mean? Good deals. Right, now let's bring up the just take a screenshot of all the trades that were taken this morning so we can remind ourselves of what happened here. So remember, I tried that little good deal. It was still a deal on the pound, which didn't play out. We lost £60, but we've made 323 on this dollar CAD trade, or $600. So not bad in the end. Remember on this dollar CAD, we got nicked, didn't we? Just got nicked at 96. We got stopped out on 2 of them just on the spread. I was lucky not to have got stopped out on the rest. But if we hadn't have got stopped out on those 2, then we would have been looking at what, 500 odd pounds currently. So that would have been a bit nicer. But anyway, it's okay for this morning, and we'll see what happens with the non-farm payrolls later. Stay safe. If you're underconfident on non-farm payrolls, don't trade it. It can get very messy. And I'll be back in touch next week.